Welcome back to Language and Literature Lab. Today, talking about nouns beyond names, as we'll be talking about nouns in detail. In order for this class not to be too long, I'm going to divide it into two sessions, and this is the first session. So I'm going to divide it into two parts. This is the first part, then we are going to do the other part later. Nouns beyond names. The meaning of nouns is beyond a noun is a name of person, animal, place, or things. There are other ways you can use to identify nouns in sentences. In this session, we are going to talk about the meanings of nouns, the characteristics of nouns, and the forms of nouns. So in the other section, in the other part, we'll do the types of noun, functions of noun, and the mistakes that many students normally make while using nouns in sentences. Now, the meanings of nouns, the one that almost everybody knows. A noun can be defined as any word that names a person, animal, place, or thing. This one is one that you were taught in primary school or even the beginning of secondary school. Then a noun is a word that has any of the following characteristics. It can occur either before a verb or after a verb. E.g., the man is good. The man is a noun. Then is a verb. Then we saw a dog in his house. Dog is a noun. Why saw is a verb. And dog is after the verb saw. So it is the object of the verb. So that's why we say that a noun can either occur before or after a verb. Then the second one is a noun has plural endings. A noun has plural endings. You know that for verbs, it is the same singular word. It is the singular verbs that have s or ies. Like comes, that's singular, while come is plural. Goes is singular. Goes is singular, while go is plural. That's for verb. While for noun, we use es, ies, or just s for plural forms. So when you see a word that forms the plural by adding either ies, es, or s, you know that that word is a noun. Then number 3, a noun also has the possessive form. You cannot add possessive form to any other part of speech apart from noun. You cannot add possessive form to a verb, a pronoun, or an adjective. Now, to show possession, we add apostrophe and s depending on the word. We add apostrophe and s depending on the word. For example, Olu's book, the girl's handbag. Olu's book, the girl's handbag. It can be preceded by, that's the last one now. A noun can be preceded by a noun marker. A noun marker is a determiner, either an article or a modifier or a quantifier. Examples: a, and, his, mine, and all that. So we add those determinants to nouns, not to other part of speech. How to recognize nouns? There are other ways that you can recognize them apart from the characteristics I told you just now. Apart from these characteristics that a noun occur either before or after a verb, can occur either before or after a verb. A noun has a plural ending, unlike verbs that it is the singular that end with s. Now a noun has a possessive form, which is apostrophe and s. Then a noun can be preceded by a noun marker, like a determinant or an article. There are other ways to identify a noun. There are other ways to identify a noun in sentences or in any sentence. Number 1, the singular form. You know that the singular form does not take any s. Then the plural form takes s, that like ends with s. Then singular possessive and plural possessive. The singular form, you already know that one. Then the plural form of a noun we form the plural form of nouns depend by adding es, ies, or just s. Then the pronunciation of that plural depends on the sound that ends the singular form. That it depends on the sound that ends the singular form of that word that we are changing to a plural form. Now, if the last sound in the word, that is in the singular word, is silent, then when we say, I'm going to do another class on voiced and voiceless consonants. So when if the last sound in the singular noun that you are changing to a plural noun, if the last sound in the singular noun that you are changing to plural is silent, then when I say silent, I mean if the last sound in the singular noun that you are changing to plural is a voiceless consonant, you know that you are going to add s, and the pronunciation will still be the s sound. So that's why you have cats, cakes, books, pots, etc. Because ta is a voiceless consonant sound, ka is also a voiceless consonant sound. Then, but if the last sound in that singular word that we are changing to a plural word is either a diphthong or a voiced consonant, there's a mistake here, it's supposed to be voiced consonant, it's either a diphthong or a voiced consonant, you add z. So you are going to add s to it also, but the pronunciation is going to be z, not s. So that's why you have boys, like in the pronunciation is boys, not boys. That's why you have boys, dogs, cars, schools. This z sound is there, not this sound, not boys, not dogs, not cars, not schools, but schools. Then if the word end with ch or j, you are still going to add es, then the pronunciation is going to be z. So that's why we see, that's why we have churches, buses, watches, judges, etc. Also, if the singular word that we are changing to a plural word already ends with e, you are still going to pronounce the s, that the sound that you are adding. Although these rules will work, but it's not likely going to work in some situations or in some ways. So if you are doubting the pronunciation or the spelling of any plural noun, the best thing to do is to check the dictionary. Regular and irregular nouns, the one I just explained, that I said that you change the plural, you make the plural form by adding es or ies or even just s, that one is, those ones are all regular nouns. Then for irregular nouns, they do not form their plurals that way. So this is how the irregular nouns form their plural. Some add n to their plural form, like from child to children, from woman to women. Then some change the vowel sound within the word, like from foot to feet, from tooth to teeth, then from mouse to mice. Then some change the final f and v to, some change the final f or fe to ve and add s to it. That's from half to halves, from knife to knives. Then some do not add any nd at all, like their, sheep, equipment, special. So this one, you do not differentiate or distinguish between their singular form and their plural form. They are just, and they are even treated as singular. Then there are some that can occur either with or without the plural. Like for fish, now you can say fish for singular, you can also say fish for plural, and you can just say you can also say fish for singular, then fishes for plural, depending on you. But I feel like fishes as plural is an old-fashioned English grammar. You already know how to write singular possessive form. That's by adding apostrophe and s. But there's another one that is confusing to some students. The one that the noun will end with s. That's when the noun ends with s. When the singular noun ends with s, especially in names. For example, James, Charles, Moses, Jesus. So you know that those words already end with s. So where are you going to add the apostrophe, and where are you going to add the s to show possession? You already know how to indicate ownership. Then there is one that is confusing to some students. That's the one that the nouns end with s naturally. So if the nouns end with s naturally, whether you are going to add the s, the apostrophe and the s to the spelling or not depends on the pronunciation. If you are going to pronounce the s after the apostrophe, you are going to add it to the right when you are spelling it. But if you are not going to, if you do not pronounce the s after the apostrophe, you are going to drop it when spelling it. For example, Charles's car. So since you are pronouncing that s after the apostrophe, when you are spelling it, you are going to write it. You are not going to just put only apostrophe after spelling Charles. You are going to still add the s after the apostrophe. Then James's house, not James' house. Charles's house, not Charles' house. So that's where some students make mistake. Then in this one, you are not going to drop it. Like, we are not going to drop it. Then the one that you are going to drop is the one that you don't pronounce. Like, you don't pronounce the ones that you do not pronounce the s after the apostrophe, like Jesus. You say in Jesus' name, not in Jesus's name. So for that reason, you are just going to add apostrophe after Jesus. You are not going to add the s. Then Moses' car, not Moses' car. Then the last one, but not the least, for this section is the plural possessive form. For the plural possessive form, if the plural word ends with an s, you just put only apostrophe. Don't put s after the apostrophe. But if it does not end with s, like people, you know that people does not end with s, so you are going to add apostrophe. You are going to put the apostrophe and the s after it. I hope you understand. So in our next class, we are going to treat types of nouns, functions of nouns, and the mistake that some people normally make when using nouns in sentences. Thank you.